Tonight's sleep story is a quiet night walk through a Viking village resting beside dark northern waters, a place where the longhouses glow softly in the cold night and the wooden docks creak gently against the slow breathing of the sea. As you listen, allow your shoulders to loosen and your breathing to settle into a calm rhythm. This is not a story that asks anything from you, only a gentle path meant to help you fall asleep while the night grows deeper around us. Imagine yourself walking slowly along a narrow earthen path between timber homes, the air cool and clean, the scent of wood smoke drifting lazily through the quiet village. Lantern light spills softly from carved doorways, stretching warm golden shapes across the frost-dusted ground. And somewhere far off, a single wave brushes quietly against the shore. This is a place where nothing is hurried, where the world has already grown still, and where the soft glow of firelight keeps watch over sleeping homes. With each slow step, the night feels deeper and more peaceful. The sky wide and dark above the fjord, the stars steady and patient, as if they too are settling in for rest. So allow this gentle walk to carry you forward, past quiet doorways and wooden fences, past lanterns swaying slightly in the night breeze. There is no way you need to go, nothing you need to do. Only this calm journey through a sleeping village where the night welcomes you softly and where every quiet moment helps you drift a little closer to sleep. You begin at the edge of the village where a narrow path leads down toward the water. The ground firm beneath your feet, the distant fjord reflecting faint starlight like dark glass stretching quietly into the horizon. A wooden post stands beside the path, a lantern hanging from its iron hook, its warm flame moving gently behind thin glass, casting slow-moving shadows across the grass. Beyond it, the village spreads quietly along the shore. Rows of sturdy timber houses resting beneath steep roofs, their windows glowing softly like calm golden eyes in the dark. The air carries the faint smell of smoke and salt, a peaceful mixture that drifts slowly through the village streets as if the night itself were breathing out warmth. You step forward slowly, boots brushing softly across the earth as the lantern light fades behind you and another glow appears farther ahead. The village path curves gently between wooden fences, each fence carefully built from rough-cut timber that has weathered many quiet seasons beneath the northern sky. Somewhere inside one of the longhouses, a fire crackles softly, the sound faint and comforting, like the steady heartbeat of a home resting safely in the night. You pause for a moment beside a wooden gate, running your hand lightly across its worn surface, feeling the grain of the wood beneath your fingers. The gate creaks quietly as the wind moves through it, not loudly, just enough to remind you that the village is alive in its own slow, peaceful rhythm. A soft glow spills from a nearby doorway, the lantern inside illuminating a small wooden step where frost gathers like fine silver dust. You continue walking, the path widening slightly as it approaches the center of the village, where several houses stand close together for warmth and shelter. Their roofs slope downward like protective wings, heavy beams resting firmly atop thick wooden walls that have endured countless quiet nights like this one. The village feels calm, deeply calm, as though every structure here understands the quiet language of the northern night. Above you, the sky stretches endlessly, deep blue fading toward black, scattered with steady stars that shimmer faintly above the fjord. A slow breeze moves through the village, brushing across wooden walls and passing gently between the narrow spaces of the homes. It carries with it the faintest rustle of hanging ropes near the docks, a soft sound that drifts across the village like distant whispers. You walk toward that sound, the path gradually descending toward the water, where the wooden harbor rests quietly in the darkness. The lanterns here are spaced farther apart, each one glowing like a small island of warmth along the shoreline. Their reflections shimmer across the fjord, long golden lines stretching softly across the dark water. A wooden boat rocks slowly beside the dock, its rope gently tightening and loosening with each quiet movement of the tide. You pause beside the edge of the pier, listening to the steady rhythm of the water brushing against the wood. It is a peaceful sound, repetitive and calming, like the slow breathing of the night itself. Beyond the harbor, the fjord disappears into darkness, wide and silent beneath the northern sky. But the village behind you glows warmly, a quiet refuge of lantern light and wooden walls. Turning slowly, you follow another path leading back toward the houses, your steps unhurried, your mind already beginning to drift into a calmer space. The village welcomes this quiet wandering, every lantern guiding you gently forward, every soft sound encouraging you deeper into the peaceful night. And as you walk, the warmth of the village seems to grow stronger, wrapping softly around you like the comfort of a firelit room. You walk slowly between two longhouses whose heavy timber walls rise quietly on either side of the narrow path, while warm lantern light glows softly along the beams, and the cool northern air carries the gentle scent of smoke drifting through the sleeping village. The path beneath your feet is smooth from countless quiet steps taken long before this peaceful night, while faint shadows rest across the ground, and the distant water of the fjord breathes slowly beyond the houses. A lantern sways lightly from an iron hook near a doorway, while its golden glow spills across the wooden planks, and the quiet flame dances softly behind the thin glass. You pause for a moment beside the doorway, while the warm light settles across the path, and the calm night wraps the village in steady stillness. Beyond the lantern, another narrow passage opens between two wooden buildings, while their tall roofs lean inward slightly, and the space between them feels sheltered and calm. You step gently into the passage, while the lantern light fades behind you, and another soft glow appears farther along the path. The walls around you carry the quiet texture of weathered wood, while faint shadows stretch across their beams, and the night air moves slowly between them. Somewhere nearby, a rope taps lightly against a post, while the wind brushes softly through the village, and the sound drifts across the quiet street like a distant whisper. The passage opens into a small courtyard, where several longhouses rest together in a calm circle, while their windows blow gently against the dark sky, and the ground beneath them feels peaceful and still. A wooden well stands quietly at the center of the courtyard, while its curved beam stretches above the stone rim, and the rope hanging from it sways softly in the breeze. You walk slowly toward the well, while the lantern light from nearby windows spills gently across the stones, and the calm air carries the warmth of distant firelight. The bucket rests quietly beside the well, while faint frost gathers along its wooden edge, and the rope creaks softly as it shifts in the wind. You pause beside the stone rim, while the quiet courtyard surrounds you, and the village rests peacefully beneath the deep northern sky. Above the rooftops, the stars shine steadily, while thin clouds drift slowly across the horizon, and the fjord beyond the village reflects faint silver light. The night here feels calm and patient, while every lantern glows softly against the dark timber walls, and every quiet sound blends gently with the wind. You step away from the well and follow another path leading toward the harbor, while the lanterns grow slightly brighter ahead, and the scent of salt drifts slowly through the air. The path curves gently past another longhouse, where warm light glows beneath a carved doorway, while the wooden steps below it hold a thin dusting of frost. You walk past quietly, while your shadow stretches softly across the ground, and the calm village seems to breathe slowly around you. Ahead, the harbor lanterns shimmer faintly through the narrow spaces between the houses, while the dark fjord waits beyond them, and the slow rhythm of water begins to return. The path slopes gently downward toward the shore, while the lantern reflections stretch across the water, and the wooden docks rest peacefully in the calm tide. You step closer to the harbor edge, while the quiet waves brush softly against the pier, and the boats rock slowly beneath the lantern glow. Their ropes move gently with the water, while the wood creaks softly against the tide, and the calm rhythm of the fjord fills the night. You pause beside the dock for a moment, while the lantern reflections ripple across the dark surface, and the quiet harbor stretches into the misty distance. The village behind you glows warmly beneath the stars, while the roofs and chimneys rest silently against the sky, and the night continues to deepen with calm. After a moment, you turn gently away from the harbor, while another lantern-lit path leads back between the houses, and the peaceful walk continues through the sleeping village. The lantern light guides your steps slowly forward, while the quiet wind moves softly through the timber walls, and the calm night welcomes you deeper into its stillness. Each step feels slower now, while the warmth of the village settles gently around you, and the peaceful rhythm of the night grows stronger. You follow the soft glow of another lantern farther along the street, while the quiet village rests patiently beneath the wide northern sky. And as you walk, the calm light of the longhouses continues to guide you forward, while the fjord whispers softly behind you, and the peaceful Viking village carries your quiet journey deeper into the night. The lantern ahead burns steadily beside a tall wooden post, while its golden light rests softly across the narrow path, and the quiet village street stretches calmly beyond it. You walk slowly beneath the lantern, while your shadow moves gently across the ground, and the warm glow fades behind you as another pool of light appears farther ahead. The houses here stand slightly farther apart, while wooden fences line the edges of the path, and the dark shapes of gardens rest quietly between the homes. A small garden lies beside one of the longhouses, while its low wooden fence holds back rows of dark soil, and frost gathers softly across the sleeping plants. You pause beside the fence for a moment, while the lantern glow spills across the ground, and the cool night air carries the quiet scent of earth and timber. Above the rooftops, the sky opens wide and calm, while the stars shimmer steadily above the fjord, and thin clouds drift slowly across the northern horizon. A faint breeze moves gently through the village, while it brushes softly across the garden leaves, and the quiet sound blends peacefully with the distant water. You continue walking along the path, while the lanterns ahead glow like small islands of warmth, and the wooden walls of the homes rest calmly in the shadows. Another longhouse stands beside the path, with a wide doorway glowing faintly with firelight, while the warm light spills across the ground and the calm crackle of burning wood drifts into the night. You pause briefly beside the doorway, while the comforting warmth touches the cool air and the quiet sound of the fire echoes softly from within. The firelight flickers across the timber beams inside the hall, while shadows move gently across the carved wooden walls, and the calm glow spreads into the sleeping street. After a moment you step away again, while the lantern light farther down the path calls you gently forward, and the peaceful walk continues. The village grows quieter as you move toward the edge of the harbor, while the houses thin slightly along the path, and the calm night deepens around you. A wooden walkway begins, where the ground slopes downward toward the water, while its wide planks stretch slowly toward the dock, and lanterns hang quietly along its posts. You step onto the walkway, while the wood creaks softly beneath your feet, and the lantern light reflects faintly across the fjord beside you. The harbor appears again ahead, while mist drifts gently across the water, and the boats rest peacefully beside the dock. Their tall masts rise quietly against the night sky, while ropes sway gently in the wind, and the calm tide moves beneath the pier. You walk slowly toward the end of the dock, while the lantern reflections stretch across the water, and the quiet rhythm of the fjord fills the air. The mist moves softly across the harbor, while the lantern glow fades slowly into the distance, and the dark fjord stretches far beyond the village. You rest your hands lightly on the wooden railing, while the cool air brushes gently across the water, and the calm night surrounds you completely. Behind you, the village lanterns glow like distant stars among the longhouses, while the chimneys release faint trails of smoke, and the rooftops rest quietly beneath the sky. The entire village feels wrapped in stillness, while the quiet sounds of wood and water blend softly together, and the night breathes slowly across the fjord. After a while, you turn away from the harbor again, while another lantern-lit path rises gently back toward the homes, and the calm walk continues through the peaceful streets. The path curves slowly upward between the houses, while lanterns blow softly beside the doorways, and the timber walls hold the warmth of quiet fires within. Each step carries you deeper into the calm heart of the village, while the night air remains cool and steady, and the lantern light guides your way. The peaceful rhythm of the village continues to surround you, while the fjord rests quietly behind the houses, and the wide northern sky watches patiently above. And as you follow the lantern path forward, the quiet Viking village slowly draws you deeper into its calm and restful night. The path now grows quieter as the lanterns burn lower beside the final row of longhouses, while their warm light rests softly across the wooden walls, and the calm night deepens around the sleeping village. You walk slowly along the narrow street, while the soft glow of the lanterns guides your steps, and the distant harbour fades gently behind the houses. A small open space appears ahead, where a few wooden benches rest beside a lantern post, while the ground here feels calm and undisturbed, and the quiet village surrounds the courtyard. You sit for a moment beside the lantern, while its gentle flame moves softly behind the glass, and the warm light spreads slowly across the wooden seat. The night air feels cool and steady, while the scent of smoke drifts softly from distant chimneys, and the quiet wind moves gently across the rooftops. Above the village, the northern sky stretches wide and peaceful, while the stars shimmer steadily above the fjord, and the dark hills beyond the water rest silently in the distance. From here, you can see the faint glow of the harbour lanterns far below, while their reflections ripple slowly across the calm surface of the fjord. The boats drift quietly beside the docks, while their ropes sway gently with the tide, and the soft creak of timber carries faintly through the night air. Behind you, the longhouses stand strong and silent, while their windows blow softly against the darkness, and the warmth of their fires fills the quiet village. The courtyard remains calm around you, while the lantern beside the bench flickers gently in the breeze, and the stillness of the night feels deeper with every moment. You breathe slowly in the cool air, while the peaceful rhythm of the village settles gently around you, and the quiet world feels perfectly at rest. There is no hurry here, and no reason to move quickly, while the lantern light blows patiently beside you, and the calm night stretches endlessly beneath the stars. After a moment, you stand again and follow a final path leading slowly away from the courtyard, while the lantern glow fades softly behind you, and the quiet streets welcome you forward. The path passes between the last row of houses, where wooden fences line the edges of the road, while the warm light of distant windows rests gently across the ground. Beyond the houses, the open sky grows wider once more, while the fjord appears faintly through the trees, and the slow breath of the night continues across the village. You walk slowly toward the edge of the settlement, where a final lantern glows beside the path, while its soft light marks the quiet boundary of the village. The lantern flame flickers calmly against the darkness, while the wooden post stands silent beside the road, and the peaceful world around you feels completely still. Behind you, the Viking village rests quietly beneath the stars, while the longhouses glow faintly with warm firelight, and the harbour lanterns shimmer beside the fjord. The calm night holds everything in gentle silence, while the wind moves softly through the distant trees, and the quiet rhythm of water continues along the shore. You pause beside the final lantern and look back once more across the sleeping village, while the warm lights glow peacefully against the dark sky, and the world feels wrapped in rest. The path behind you grows dim as the lantern light fades slowly into the distance, while the fjord reflects the quiet stars above, and the calm night settles even deeper. And here beneath the steady northern sky, beside the last quiet lantern and the soft breathing of the sea, the peaceful Viking village slowly carries you into sleep.